Before we continue the travelogue, please go and watch the previous videos. We returned to the hotel near Lake Phewa for lunch. This was a restaurant. A beautiful restaurant with pleasant architecture and a clean space that had a beautiful view of Lake Phewa. The food we ordered here was some of the best I had in Nepal. This dish was butter chicken masala, and it was the most delicious Nepali dish I've ever eaten. My group members were also satisfied with the food they ordered. So if you travel to Pokhara, be sure to come to this restaurant. Opposite the restaurant was the lovely Lake Phewa. You can enjoy activities like boating, paddleboarding, etc. in this lake. Lake Phewa, at an altitude of 742 meters above sea level and nestled in the Pokhara valleys, is renowned for its fresh water. Phewa covers an area of approximately 5.23 square kilometers and is 8 to 24 meters deep, holding 43,000 liters of water. Phewa is the second largest lake in Nepal, and the largest lake in the country is called Rara. In the middle of Phewa Lake, there is a relatively small piece of land on which a temple called Tal Barahi Temple has been built. You can visit it by boat. From here you can even see Mount Machhapuchhre. I would be happy if you could guide me in the comments to produce better content. I went back to the hotel for a short rest, and then we went for dinner. We chose this local restaurant. Of course, this wasn't a restaurant. I don't have a picture of the outside of the restaurant, but the food there was extremely bad. But the interesting thing was that many Nepali words were similar to Persian words.
Paneer do pyaza for
This is farce. Paneer do pyaza, all of this farce. Do pyaza means two onion mixed.
Mixed, yeah.
The next day we woke up around 4 a.m. to go see one of the most beautiful scenes you can see in Pokhara. Some had also come on foot. It was around 5 a.m. There was a cafe nearby where we had tea, and this was the location of Sarankot. The main reason for the village's fame is the stunning view of sunrise and sunset over the Himalayan peaks at the moment of dawn, when the first rays of the sun illuminate the peaks of Annapurna, Dhaulagiri, and Machhapuchhre. A magical and indescribable sight awaits you, the likes of which can be found in few places in the world. As the sun slowly rises from behind the mountains, the changing colors of the sky and the gradual illumination of the Himalayan peaks create a sight that delights every viewer. Sunset is equally beautiful when the last rays of sunlight slowly pass through the mountains, casting the surroundings in warm, soft shadows. You will never forget this experience. What could be more beautiful than watching the sunrise with your love? Watching the endless views of the Himalayas, lush forests, and the blue. Phewa Lake from the sky will immerse you in the beauty of nature. The sun first began to shine over the mountains, and then rose. The Annapurna Massif is a mountain range in the Himalayas in north-central Nepal, consisting of one peak above 8,000 meters, 13 peaks above 7,000 meters, and 16 peaks above 6,000 meters. Machhapuchhre, meaning fishtail, is a 6,993-meter mountain in the Annapurna range in north-central Nepal. It is considered sacred by the local people as the abode of Shiva, and is therefore forbidden to climb. Some of these mountains are in this frame of the film. Other than watching the sunrise and sunset, some of the activities here include paragliding, hiking, mountain climbing, and visiting a nearby temple. At the highest point of the village, there is a temple called Sarankot Shiva Temple, which is considered a sacred and spiritual place for the locals. This temple has a unique location with its traditional Nepali architecture. We went to the next location. Here you have to take off your shoes. Bindabasini Temple is one of the holiest Hindu temples dedicated to goddess Durga, one of the most powerful goddesses in Hinduism. Perched on a small hill, the temple is a popular place of worship for Hindus, locals, and even tourists, with its traditional architecture and peaceful surroundings. This temple is not only a religious place, but also a cozy spot to enjoy the natural scenery of Pokhara and experience the religious culture of Nepal. If you are planning to visit this temple, early morning with its cool and relaxing weather is the best time. A ceremony was held inside this temple and we got to see parts of it together. In this part, they would tattoo you with an Indian tattoo, give you a cup of water to pour over the symbol, and at the end, you would offer a tip. You can also light candles for prayers. This part of the ceremony was called a posa, which seemed to be for blessings and blessings. In this part, they worshipped the gods. Even entering this temple was treated with special respect. They would ring a bell after entering. In front of this temple, like all other temples, was a golden bull statue, which we asked a local to explain to us.
After that, you have to see inside
Lord Shiva.
temple. Yeah. And your wish in his ear.
They would look at the temple from the top of the bull's horns and then say their wishes into the bull's ears. We also saw several women in local costumes and took pictures with them. Around this temple was a market for handicrafts and semi-precious stones. Today's tour ended, so we went back to the hotel. But we had found a very special location to go to, so we took a taxi and headed there. This taxi was very small. We passed through the old town and a beautiful, winding forest. They call this place a monastery, a building or buildings occupied by a community of monks living under religious vows. You have to take off your shoes to enter here. In this part of the monastery, a Buddhist monk performs a ritual ceremony, and we explore this space and ceremony together. These two tourists had come to have this ceremony performed for them. At the end of the ceremony, bracelets were tied around their hands, a shawl was placed around their necks, and water was given to them to drink and poured over their heads.
Your right hand, the right. Breathe a little, put on your head.
At the end, a tip was given according to tradition. We left this area and headed towards the monks' school. Here they made beautiful sculptures with candles. This was the mantra chanting and monk school part. Let's see part of this ceremony together. the strangest places you can visit in Nepal is the monastery and healing centers. There are also good shops in Pokhara to buy rudraksha. I talked about it in the video part 3. There are also good clubs in Pokhara for spending the night. Before we move on to the next city and the last part of the Pokhara travelogue, please subscribe to my channel and give me energy with your likes and comments.